He's a player that put the cleaners through Parramatta in those 2 rounds where they had 2 big wins over them. KB Cup final, and yet here we find him not in for the early onslaught.
Yes, but it could be, Jeff, that he's not in because of a lack of match practice.
Yeah, but Frank, if you're fit enough to play 20 minutes of football, you might as well play the first 20 because that's when the pressure's really on. Bring him on at half-time or sometime in the second half, and you're down. You could be down 20-0.
Yeah,
what's the point?
Late then. I think they should use him one up if he's fit enough to.
He's
take
going
the
to play.
field.
Throw him on.
That's exactly the logic that I can't figure out about this game this afternoon.
The logic is, Ron, that he isn't fit enough to play first up.
I think that they probably look at it the other way, and I don't wholly agree with other members of the panel. I think that if Manly can hold Parramatta without Boyd and then bring Boyd into the game like they did against North Sydney last week, Parramatta might just think twice.
Well, I agree with that.
Psychologically, I think it could be a tremendous ploy.
I agree with that because you remember last week when Western Suburbs played East, when they brought those 3 players on at the finish of the game and made a tremendous difference, and they nearly overtook East. East won 11-7. You remember when they brought Clark on and McAlan and
We'll come back to the first round, Parramatta and Manly. It was played at the Belmore Sports Ground, March the 28th, a long time ago, very near the opening of the season, and it was raining.
And this was a great game too, Case.
It was, top game, wasn't it? Edie, first of his injuries with a hamstring after 7 minutes. The bomb after 13 minutes.
And Michael Eden came onto the end of the side this day.
Yes.
Took that well. No, he didn't.
Well, there's the ruling. No try.
Quite right, too.
Yep.
Kona, the first of 2 penalties at 21 minutes. And then the controversy. 31 minutes, the Davis no try. They're still talking about this one. Now, as you'll remember, jog your memory, on many, many videotape replays, it turned out from the head-on shot that it was indeed a try. But I'm not getting soft on referees, but, you'd have to be Einstein with a dozen cameras around you on the field to come up with this decision. Look how close it was.
Well, touch judges' case really should help out.
Should help,
in
but
that
even
situation.
touch judge couldn't.
On that occasion, the touch judge ruled no try.
Did he?
You can understand Manly claiming a moral victory this day.
Sure.
It's amazing how these 2 sides really, they like playing each other. There's just no... we talk about Norths yesterday against Balmain. Norths yesterday against East, and East very rarely go well against Norths. But some sides like playing each other, and these 2 do.
Here's Chris Phelan making a break, and if he is in the Parramatta team at the start of the game day, it'll be something of a controversy because it means that Muggleton or Wynn will have to be dropped for Phelan to make a spot. Now that brings us to the second round. We'll have a look at that, and we'll come back and we'll have a talk about the makeup of the Parramatta team this afternoon and which forward is most likely to be dropped in the 7-man pack. The first of the 10 tries in the match came in the 8th minute. Here's Peter Wynn throwing a shocking pass. It's snapped up by Alan Thompson as he boots it through, gets in the race for the ball. With the conversion, Manly leads 5-0. 20-minute mark. Chisholm puts the bomb up and Ian Thompson claims the try to give Manly a 10-0 lead. But on the head-on shot, you'll see there's graved out that didn't come off a defending player, and indeed that Thompson got a hand to the ball. Graved out over the second try. 26-minute mark. Sterling puts Phelan through this run, and the former Queenslander goes in for an easy try, 10 points to 5 with a conversion. 30-minute mark. Brown puts McCabe on a great run. Here it is. McCabe down centre field, looking for Boyd, turns it away to Boyd. Boyd then goes on marauding to the left and has Eden linking up with him and on to Davis for perhaps the best try of the match. That with a conversion made it 15-5. Eden was in great kicking form too. 38-minute mark and Brown sends Gerard away. Gerard links up with Booth and a very simple run through off this pass from Gerard sees Booth goes in for the try. Half-time score, 20 points to 5 Manly's way. Cronin uses the free kick to put the ball across the goal mount. Steve Ella goes up. No doubt about that one. It's a try. 20 points to 8. 20-minute mark. Ella has a magnificent run, sending the final pass to Hunt, 21-11. 24-minute mark. Brown to McCabe, and Michael Blake comes in for the try. That made it 26-11. We had a little bit of Rick Chisholm magic now. Look at this for magnificent football. Reed gathers the kick and in the same movement passes it to Eden. Eden goes in for the try. It's 31 points to 11. 5 minutes to full time and Parramatta scores a face-saving try. Wynn goes wide, gets it to Sterling, onto Muggleton, and Atkins goes in. Final score, Manly 31, Parramatta 14. Well, there you are. Peter Peters, you made a comment as you watched those 2 tapes.
Yeah, the little chip over the top seems to worry Parramatta. Manly employ it well. They did in that game, and they did in the KB Cup semi-final.
Well, it's the best ploy, isn't it, against the best defensive
Well, it is.
team
I
in
still
the
don't.
league, you know?
I still think they've got a major problem at fullback, Parramatta.
Of course.
Obviously, someone's going to be going back into the in-goal to take those bombs because Taylor will never get up.
That's right. It'll be Kenny, of course.
Kenny will be doing it.
Which of the forwards, back row forwards, would you drop from the 7-man pack, Frank?
What, to put Hilditch in? Phelan.
Yes. Phelan. So would I.
Well, I disagree. I dropped Peter Wynn. Phelan was instrumental in 2 major busts against Manly in different games there, and I'd leave him in.
Gee, that was back in July.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
he's
make any
probably,
difference.
Frank, he's probably now the most improved forward.
He lifts
in the
his game and he is
Phelan.
passing the ball now.
Oh, well, he
Okay,
is.
Ray.
But let's not forget that Ray Price didn't play in that second-round match at Brookvale Oval too, and he will be there today. So I think the little chips that might occur, he'll be there to cover. And I would drop Muggleton from the side without too much trouble.
Jeff? I know, it's asking impossible,
6 and
isn't
one,
it?
half dozen the other, as far as I'm concerned, Muggleton.
Phelan, I like my forwards to pass the ball.
Okay, thank you. Now, as we're running out of time, let's ask the question, Manly or Parramatta?
Parramatta.
Yes, Parramatta.
Parramatta very easily.
Peter Peters,
Too much
tip
discipline.
Parramatta, thank you. Ray?
Parramatta, too much discipline.
Manly by a whisker.
I'd Parramatta.
Well,
You just put the mopper on
You're
Parramatta.
going to say Manly by a 7 tackle.
Hang on, who did Ray go for?
I went for Parramatta.
Oh, can I switch?
Everyone,
I've got to switch.
everyone
No luck.
everyone
I'm
except
back.
Hartley went for Parramatta. And I
Old habits
suppose...
die hard.
That's right. I suppose on that note, we'll just about close the football segment with this interview with Jack Gibson.
Hi, mate.
Renowned for your holdover players and getting results without sort of ranting and raving maybe as other coaches. Must be especially reassuring for your players under semi-final conditions.
Well, I think we're all looking for a little help, and I don't think that it's not how much noise you make. It's always profitable.
I think a lot of people are anticipating, yourself amongst them, I suppose, that you're going to take Parramatta into their second grand final 2 straight years, and you pulled them together where previously they didn't quite come up with the goods that they produced under you. Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know what happened before I got here, but I think, well, 1 year they got a pretty bad decision, but they've always had the potential. I think I've walked in at a pretty opportune time, maybe.
What about this Sunday in training? How's Ron Hilditch shaping up?
Well, he's going fine. We tested him the last couple of training sessions, and he's pretty healthy.
Fit now, you've named 7 forwards, I understand. Will he be on the paddock to start with?
Well, I haven't made that decision. Well, really, I've made the decision, but we won't be telling anybody because everybody seems to get a kick out of the bad news. It's not so much that a player's in, but the emphasis on who I won't start with.
If you do choose to put him on the bench, do you think fans will be bemused to perhaps see Parra start without him while Les Boyd might be sitting on the opposite side of the paddock watching Manly?
Well, I've very little concern at the moment what they do because when on game day I will. But the important factor is it's not when you start, it's how you finish.
Words of wisdom from Jack Gibson.